everyone, and welcome back to my show. This episode is a critical one in our journey for weight loss as it goes about diet. And you will see that it is really a fundamental thing since it is not only about our weight loss and about the number on the scale, but it really is deeply connected to our health and mental state. So a lot of the things I'm gonna show here really are talking about body and mind. And we are gonna go into a lot of topics. We'll look quite broad. We'll look at really game changers. They have a big impact but require relatively small changes to your everyday lifestyle. And I'm also gonna, in this one, I'm gonna tell you very good news and also show you how easy it is by knowing things that are important to your diet to make a big change. I must say some of the things are new to me as well, and I just discovered them in the last weeks, and they have created a very high impact. So happy to share them with you. I hope you are gonna pick up something from this and you are gonna try it, not just listening to me, but really actively pick something and try it and see the improvements. So I'm gonna go through a lot of things today, not in detail, but just mentioning as pointers and for everyone to know to go more in details and try it. We'll explore today setting up the tone in the morning, hydration, ultra-processed food, the gut-brain axis and microbiome, blood sugar regulation, proteins, meat consumptions, carbs, understanding hunger, retraining your taste, and most importantly, listening to your body, which is the leitmotif of all my shows, as you know. Let's start in the morning. And let's start. What are you gonna do first when you wake up? Well, first thing you do is drink water, and I call it preventive hydration. Even before you feel the thirst, start drinking. Before coffee, before food, start with water, and aim before you get going with your day for at least 1 liter in the morning, and that will really give you a good base. And what's the reason? Now, firstly, you wake up dehydrated after the night, and what will happen? You will drink a lot of coffee in that need to hydrate. Coffee will dehydrate you, so that will be like a cycle that will only make you drink more coffee. Secondly, once you are done with coffee, let's say, then you are gonna start eating a lot. We confuse thirst with hunger. Brain signals are surprisingly similar. It's very hard to make the difference. Therefore, we are gonna eat really gigantic quantities of food because in order to compensate for what we need for 2-3 liters, imagine how much food you are gonna eat. So drink first in the morning. As with any new habit, make it accessible, make it attractive. So how do we make it accessible? We keep a bottle of water close to us continuously. And attractive, have a nice bottle, but also as a treat, you can start with fruit infusions, especially in the morning if plain water is too boring. So treat yourself a bit. After you've got a good start with your water, not the whole liter, but say enough, and you have your water bottle with you on the table, don't have coffee first on the empty stomach. When you wake up, your cortisol stress hormone, in order to get us alert, will peak. If you drink coffee right away, it spikes even further as it goes directly into the blood or very easily into the blood on an empty stomach. And when it drops, so does your blood sugar. So that crash can lead to intense food cravings, restlessness, and poor focus. I can really relate to that at about 10 o'clock, my stress level would go down and I would start feeling extremely hungry and having a really hard time concentrating. I really used to, at those times, reach for coffee first. It really felt impossible to eat early, really, like, to the point that I thought I will not be able to swallow anything. But one day I made a switch. It's not so long ago, maybe 3 months ago, and it was an incredible impact. Instantly, same day, and I could see I can eat, and I manage way better my mood throughout the day. I'm more balanced and I manage my hunger way better throughout the day. However, as we talk about sugar level, don't do high sugar things in the morning. Skip the carbs, no pastries, no fruit smoothies, but choose a protein rich breakfast like a Greek yogurt, eggs, or something light but balanced. So this is also very important. Eat before your coffee, but eat protein-based food. Now, next thing we are gonna go into is ultra-processed foods and limit those. We all know they are bad, but I must say I didn't know how bad they are. It also makes sense why we crave them so much, because they've been engineered to have the perfect combination of sugar, salt, and fat, such to hijack our brain's dopamine system and hook us up. Problem is, that is only for a short moment, that great feeling. And the problem is that they are low in nutrients and fiber, therefore they cause fast sugar spikes and crashes afterwards. They leave you hungry and unsatisfied because the volume is quite small, and they are extremely bad for our health. A lot of research shows that they are linked to obesity, to cardiovascular diseases, some cancers, high blood pressure, and overall they are linked to 25 to 60% of higher risk of all-cause mortality. Can you imagine what that means? So, as a former smoker and a proud person to have quit, I wonder myself which one has a higher risk of mortality. Not only on the physical health, but on mental health also the impact is enormous, and they are associated, the high consumptions of ultra processed foods is associated with mood swings, anxiety, depression. What happens is that has been seen scientifically shrinkage of hippocampus, so our brain shrinks, and it's a lot of link between them and poor microbiome and gut-brain axis issues. So that brings me to number 4, gut-brain axis and the microbiome. Microbiome is what we have in our intestines. It is made of 3 billion bacteria, and this is very important for regulating our health, and so much physical but also psychologically. They secrete like 90% of our serotonin. This is what is giving anxiety and depression regulation, and key neurotransmitters like dopamine, our driving hormone, are produced in the gut. So having a healthy gut supports mood and memory, immunity, lower inflammation, and an imbalanced gut, obviously the opposite, brain fog, anxiety, cravings. So that link is extremely important, extremely critical, and a lot of the knowledge has emerged in the last years. Therefore, how to get a healthy microbiome is eating fiber-rich and fermented foods, sleep well, minimize stress, and cut on ultra-processed foods. So you see, they all come together, they all start making sense, all the connection between sleep, stress, body, mind, and this microbiome, the high impact it has on us. Number 5 point is, in our diet, keep your blood sugar stable throughout the day. Avoid frequent sugar spikes and crashes in order to avoid hunger, firstly, but also to have a balanced health. And how do you do that? Mainly by prioritizing proteins over carbs, minimizing the carbs, especially the refined ones. So you will get, I will not here give the full details on how much you need, that depends a lot, but you can also consider the fact that a lot of the carbs you are getting through your vegetables, therefore you might not need to add way more carbs like potatoes or rice, but that's up to you to look further into how much you need. I personally stick to just a spoon of rice or potatoes on top of my big portions of vegetables. Number 6, we want proteins, but then if we talk about meat, how much meat is it healthy? Can we eat 3 times a day, every day a week? Meat? No. They are really a strain to our digestion, to our insulin system, and they need to be kept also in balance. So there is a healthy recommended limit of looking into how much red meat to 1 to 2 times a week. Of course, limit processed meats. White meat 2 to 4 times a week, and fish 2 times per week, and ideally 1 times oily fish for health, for heart and mind health. And balance this with vegetarian meals. What I do recently, again, this is the last 2 weeks, when I've heard about the high impact meat it has on you, I started cutting back significantly. I do 2 times meat, 2 times or 3 times fish, and the rest vegetarian meals. And I must say, I already feel the difference, not only in my body, but especially in my mind, of clarity, and way more grounded, way more calm I am in these last 2 weeks. Number 7, very important, and we've looked into it in another episode about hunger. And this is about understanding and managing your hunger. Not all hunger is real physical hunger, is not what your body asks for surviving and for functioning. Different hungers are coming in, like for example emotional hunger, stress. I had a whole episode on this. Up to 70% of eating can be emotional. Thirst, as we just said, 50% of hunger may actually be dehydration. You see how I crave water just talking about it, and I need to drink. Sleep. Poor sleep also reduces hormone efficiency that regulate hunger by 30%. Blood sugar drops if you don't manage to keep your blood sugar constant. It also triggers intense cravings. We said ultra processed foods. So all of this together, it really easily can end up eating 2 times more than you need. So then, what is the surprise if we eat quite often, up to 2 times the amount that we need? What is the surprise that we are gaining weight? Number 8, this is about retraining your taste. And yes, the taste can be retrained. Your taste buds regenerate every 2 weeks. So, meaning you can have a training, a re-upgrade of your taste buds. Therefore, many people say that after a few weeks of eating healthy, lots of vegetables, junk food really started to taste weird. And veggies really started to taste good. For example, I used to love fries, but by just training myself to not eat them, I don't even crave them or enjoy them. So just give yourself time, and the change is really easier, because after a while, few weeks and down the road, you will feel that you really start enjoying more the healthy food. Number 9, and the last one, of course, most importantly, is to listen to your body. Your body speaks through cravings when we talk about food, but of course, not all the cravings are bad. So we need to listen to our body and not necessarily give in to the cravings for sweets or things that we don't think are healthy, but some good cravings can give us good signals. And these are many times signals that we need certain nutrients, vitamins, minerals, can give you signals about your gut health balance. It gives you signals about detox and hormonal support, emotional regulation. So just understand that many times you will crave certain things. Like, for example, I had a period when I craved broccoli, and I just followed that craving. It is for a reason. And you know that people stranded at sea often crave the eyes of the fish rather than the fish itself, because this is rich in vitamins, and after they ate so much proteins, they really the body craves the vitamins as well. So trust your body, because it really knows what it needs. But again, make a big difference between certain cravings like chocolate and sweets or ultra processed foods and healthy cravings. So let's wrap it up. This was a lot of information, maybe too much, maybe overwhelming, but hope that you could note a couple of concepts that you are willing to investigate further. Even if you take just 1 or 2 of these, it's gonna be a powerful start. And I really hope this was also showing you that these are easy habits, quite forgiving, and the best news is that they all can be learned, trained. Our taste can be retrained into healthy and easily integrated in our life. So with this, I want to thank you for listening, and hope this works for you, and hope to see you soon in my next episode. Thank you.